County Courthouse will be seeing major changes in the near future.
And massive landslides have the national death toll on a rise. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us on Channel 14 News this evening. I'm Abigail Lutcher.
And I'm April Belizio. According to Greene County spokesperson, the Greene County Courthouse will soon see major changes in security. Late last month, the Greene County Commissioners voted to implement security measures in the building. The building will soon have X-ray machines, wands, and metal detectors. There will also be equipment similar to what airport security uses for bags and purses. The courthouse will now only have one accessible entrance on Church Street. The commissioners hope the security measures will not be overcomplicated, but still keep people safe.
Over the last 5 years, the number of children living in foster care has gone down, but not in Greene and Fayette County. A report on the 2014 State of Child Welfare released this month showed a 26% decrease in foster care placements in the state, according to Pennsylvania Partnership for Children. In Greene County, foster care placement increased by 26.9% and 21.7% in Fayette County. A majority of the children are taken out of a home is because of drug and alcohol issues. The report also noted that child abuse and neglect in Fayette County is down from 16.5% to 4.8% in the last 5 years, and Greene County had a 4.1% decline.
The retrial of a Daisytown woman accused of being an accomplice in a 2012 murder began this past Tuesday. Experts testified against the 41-year-old Lana Rowe, who alleged to have plotted with her husband, Jason Rowe, to kill their neighbor. The prosecution argues that Rowe knew her husband was planning the killing. She drove her husband and the neighbor to a cabin as part of the plan. Jason Rowe was convicted of first-degree murder in November, but the same judge could not make a decision on Lana Rowe, resulting in a mistrial.
A Western Pennsylvania pastor is in jail and waiting trial for allegedly trying to inappropriately touch a girl. He was waived his rights to a preliminary hearing on the charges that involves more girls. Reverend Ray Scott's Teets was arrested in November, and since then, another victim has come forward. He is charged with taking an 11-year-old girl into a shed and trying to inappropriately touch her. A pair of sisters also told authorities Teets would come into their bedroom without their permission and hug and kiss them. Teets has denied his wrongdoings to the original case, but would not comment on the most recent charges.
Up next, we'll take a look at this week's top national stories, including landslides that have left over 100 people unaccounted for.
Libby the library cat found her love for books at the Bowlby Library. Bowlby Library, located off of West Street in Waynesburg, Pennsylvania, is a free public library that offers different services to the residents of Greene County. The library includes both a children's department as well as an adult section. The family literacy department offers different tutoring opportunities as well as computer classes. For more information about library services, please visit www.evakbowlby.org.
I came to Waynesburg University to become an athletic trainer, and I absolutely love it. Waynesburg just offers so much more in the training that's available. You get the hands-on practical experience you need to be proficient, and that's what makes Waynesburg stand out among the rest. Clinical observations begin sophomore year, which gives 3 full years of experience before even graduating. Class sizes are small as well. I get the personal attention I need to excel and to really grasp what I need to learn to go out in the real world. I can't imagine going anywhere else. Waynesburg sets the standards in teaching athletic training.
The official death toll rises to 16 after a massive landslide in Snohomish County, Washington. However, that number is sure to grow as other bodies are found and identified. CNN's Andrew Spencer reports at least 176 people are still unaccounted for.
The family of a decorated Navy officer found his house destroyed by the massive landslide last weekend.
They found his uniforms and his officer's sword, and then he broke up and he couldn't talk no more.
After days without another sign of him, his father didn't know what to think.
You know, they might find him yet, or they might, I don't know, I'm just hoping against hope.
The body of Commander John Rugglebrugge was found by his brothers Tuesday, his name added to the rising death toll. With well over 100 people still missing, some relatives are still holding out hope.
My husband's a survivor, and believe in him. And that's all you can do is just keep believing.
But that hope is starting to fade for others who never imagined they'd see this kind of devastation.
When I pictured this slide, I pictured, vehicles parked there, and if somebody was in their vehicle when the mudslide came on, that we would just dig through the mud and pull them out of their car and they'd be okay. But what we're finding is these vehicles are like twisted and tore up into like pieces.
Dirt and debris as deep as 20 feet in some spots covers about a square mile of Snohomish County, Washington, and Tuesday rain only made the search that much more difficult. A candlelight vigil in nearby Arlington, just one example of communities around the county and across the country showing their support after such a terrible tragedy. I'm Andrew Spencer reporting.
The Malaysian government says all available evidence shows the plane crashed into the ocean with no survivors and have left many relatives of those on board having a very difficult time accepting that, especially in the absence of a tangible proof. Sarah Sidner spoke to one woman who's dreading breaking the news to her children.
Chung Li Ping is having a hard time stringing the words together to make a sentence. She is gripped by unrelenting sadness. Her husband was on the flight that officials now say disappeared somewhere over the Indian Ocean. Chung cannot bring herself to tell her 1- and 5-year-old boys waiting back in Beijing that their daddy may not come home.
I don't dare to. I have no courage. Every day I'm scared to call my sons because once I call them, they will cry out, "Daddy, Mommy," and my heart can't handle it. I don't want to hurt my children.
Sitting in a hotel room in Malaysia, she cannot bring herself to accept that her husband is dead, even after a Malaysian Airlines and government officials put it quite bluntly that all 239 people on board are gone forever. What did you love about him?
There are lots of reasons why I love him. I don't know where to start. He's very good to me, very considerate. He takes care of me.
She is soft-spoken, but filled with anger as well, because she says she does not have faith in anything the Malaysian government or airline has to say anymore. Some of the families in Beijing have had some very harsh words for the government. The airline is also responsible for the deaths of their family members. Do you feel that way?
Yes, I think the same, because they have been hiding the truth, even though they know.
Chung Li Ping and her husband came to Kuala Lumpur looking for a bit of fun and sun in a tropical paradise. It didn't work out that way. Her husband needed to take a short business trip back to Beijing. She decided to stay and wait for him in Malaysia. She's still here, waiting. Sarah Seidner, CNN, Kuala Lumpur.
Malaysia says it's giving all the families the information it can and is sharing it as quickly as possible.
2 firefighters, Edward J. Welsh and Michael R. Kennedy, were killed yesterday while fighting a blaze in a townhouse in Boston. Approximately 150 firefighters and 20 to 30 fire trucks responded to the scene on Beacon Street. The fire started in the basement of the 4-story building and burned right through the roof. Firewalls kept the flames from spreading to adjacent buildings, but more than a dozen people were taken to the hospital.
The lawyer convicted for high school shooter T.J. Lane asked a judge Wednesday to reduce his sentence. Lane is serving 3 consecutive life sentences for killing 3 students at Chardon High School in Ohio in 2012. His attorney said Lane should have not been tried as an adult because he was 17 years old at the time of the shootings. Prosecutors say state law makes it clear that teens charged with serious crimes must be treated as adult. A 3-judge panel will review the arguments and are expected to make a decision in a few weeks.
One Homewood man claims he was arrested unjustly. We'll find out more coming up next.
Greene County is made of rural communities built on traditional values. The Community Foundation of Greene County is a stronghold to those who call Greene County their home. Located on High Street in Waynesburg, Pennsylvania, the foundation gives back to the Greene County community. The donors are the heart and soul of this organization. The foundation strives to preserve the community and leave legacies for future generations. For more information about donations and how to get involved, please contact the foundation at 724.
During a federal civil rights case, a lawyer questioned 3 police officers that were involved in arrest of a man who believes he was unjustly arrested. Jordan Miles of Homewood claims that the officers Richard Ewing, Michael Saldu, and David Sisak used unnecessary amount of force and caused major injuries. Officer Ewing says that Miles' injuries were self-inflicted, and the only police involvement was when Officer Sisak tackled Miles. Miles suffered cuts and swollen face from the incident. The jury will likely hear the closing arguments tomorrow.
A North Strabane Township man was arrested after police found his wife shot dead Tuesday night. Scott Edmonds is suspected of shooting Luis Weiss Edmonds in the head at their home. After being alerted by neighbors, police found Edmonds in the house holding his dead wife. Police found spent shell casings and also a live round on the floor. After searching the home, police found a firearm registered to Edmonds in the pocket of a pool table. Edmonds is facing a hearing in April and is currently being held in the Washington County Correctional Facility.
After 17 months away from home, a beagle has finally returned to its family. 7-year-old Sassy wandered away from her Kentucky home in October of 2012, and her family assumed the worst. Sassy was soon adopted from a Kentucky shelter and taken to Brentwood, Pennsylvania. During a trip to the veterinarian, Sassy's microchip was used to find the dog's history and contact her with her original owners. Sassy will be reunited with them tomorrow.
Police departments in Leetsdale and Ross are investigating multiple thefts from vehicles in past weeks. 4 unlocked cars in the Perrysville area of Ross Township were entered in March 13th. Also, on March 21st, 8 unlocked cars in Leetsdale Borough were tampered with. Police said credit cards were taken from these cars and they were used at local businesses, such as Giant Eagle and Walmart. A total value of the thefts has not yet been determined. Surveillance videos reveal the same young white male with an older white female using the stolen credit cards. The Leetsdale and Ross police departments are asking for help identifying the suspects in the surveillance footage.
Coming up after the break, Austin Anderson will have your business report. Stay tuned.
Austin, CNN saying you can do 2 events simultaneously in the spring. Can you tell us what these 2 events are?
Yes, Abby. Normally people think they're different, but they're actually more similar than you think. 2 routines that many people do during this time of year could be most efficient if done at the same time. CNN's Karen Kafa has more.
After sending off a tax return, the last thing many Americans feel like doing is crunching more numbers. But having financial information at hand may be the best time to do some spring cleaning.
It's a good time not only to spruce up your house, but also to tidy up your personal finances so you start this new quarter with a fresh start.
Personal finance expert Vera Gibbons says a common obstacle to money management is also one of the easiest to overcome.
So many people have no idea what money is coming in the door and what money is actually going out the door, and you can't begin to manage your finances unless you have this basic stuff down.
After a budget, tidy up a credit report, look for any mistakes or accounts that could be fraudulent, and also look for areas you can improve, like high balances or delinquent accounts, and unclutter your system for paying credit card, utility, mortgage bills, and more.
Create an online calendar on Google, for example. That way you're sent automatic reminders as to when those bills are actually due, so you won't be hit with late fees, no penalties, and no credit score consequences.
This is also a chance to take inventory of auto pay options for subscriptions and other items you may simply have forgotten about and might want to clean out of your budget. For Consumer Watch, I'm Karen Kafa.
Many Americans have dreamed of sports holidays to become American holidays, and Budweiser is hoping to accomplish that. The brewing company is hoping for a national holiday to be issued for Major League Baseball's opening day. A successful petition of 100,000 signatures to make the federal government address the issue. The government is expected to address the issue sometime in the spring. The first signee of the petition was Ozzie Smith, a legendary St. Louis Cardinals shortstop. LeBron James is on a new team, not New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, or Cleveland, but he has joined forces with Sprite to have his own soda. According to Coca-Cola, the parent company of Sprite, LeBron actually has his own say in the creation of his Sprite Six Mix, including flavors are the typical Sprite flavors with an orange and cherry twist. The drink is not available for long, but it can be found in stores across the nation. Pastries have been a favorite dessert for many years, and McDonald's has been the most successful fast food franchise chain of all time. But you never would have thought that the two could coexist. Some McDonald's around the country now offer pastries for a trial run. Southwestern California is a region that is offering the cinnamon cream cheese and raspberry-filled desserts. There is no word whether the offering will be increased nationwide. For Channel 14 Business, I'm Austin Anderson. Your Jacket Sports Update with Matt Cole starts right after this.
Matt, we're now seeing some warmer weather, which means spring sports are underway, including men's tennis. How's the team been playing so far?
Yeah, this men's tennis team has played about a handful of games now, and they've had some turnover from last year and have some freshmen starting, so we're seeing some learning curves here early on in the season. And the Waynesburg men's tennis team played its first President's Athletic Conference match Tuesday when it traveled to Bethany, West Virginia to take on the Bethany College Bison. The Jackets were looking for their second win on the young season in what was already their fourth road match of the year. Waynesburg fell behind 2-1 in doubles after the Jackets' #1 doubles team of junior Isaiah Cochran and freshman Tim Harris lost a hard-fought battle 8-6. Freshman James Mangus and Caleb Gallmer also lost a close 8-6 match at #3 doubles, and the #2 duo of juniors Philip Littlejohn and Colin Phillips were the only Waynesburg victors in doubles play on the day. In singles play, Isaiah Cochran won at the #1 singles spot by scores of 6-2 and 6-2, followed by a 6-4, 6-3 win from Philip Littlejohn and a 6-4, 6-3 win from James Mangus. But in the end, the Jackets could not overcome singles losses from Tim Harris, Colin Phillips, and a hard-fought 3-set loss from freshman Mitchell Ross, and fell to Bethany by the final score of 5-4. The tennis team fell to 1-4 overall and 0-1 in the conference after the loss, but is currently taking on defending PAC champion Grove City at home, looking to bounce back from the disappointing loss at Bethany. The men's track and field team was in action over the weekend in New Concord, Ohio, on the campus of Muskingum University for the Amy Adams Memorial Invitational. The Jackets finished 8th out of the 13 participating teams and had some impressive individual achievements. In the track events, sophomore Ben McCauley won the 10,000-meter run, while senior Jonathan Blatt added a bronze finish in the 10,000 meters as well. Reigning PAC track MVP and PAC track and field MVP Byram Luco made his season debut after spending the past winter on the Waynesburg men's basketball team. Luco took second in the 400-meter hurdles and also qualified for the 8-man finals in the 100-meter dash after a 6th place time and ended up placing 8th in the finals. The Waynesburg men also added a win in the field events when sophomore Mike Martin posted the top javelin throw distance in the 24-man field with a 48.15-meter toss. The Jackets will compete again on Saturday when they participate in the Carnegie Mellon Mini Invite. The women's track and field team was also in action over the weekend at the Amy Adams Invitational at Muskegon, placing 8th out of the 11 participating teams. Freshman Katie Latimer took 4th in the 800 meters and added a respectable 14th place performance in the 28-woman 1500-meter field. Junior Brianne Prinky qualified for the finals in 100-meter hurdles and placed 4th. Prinky was also Waynesburg's top performer in both the high jump and pole vault. And in the field events, senior Rebecca Rapp looked strong in the discus with a 7th place toss, and national qualifier and former All-American Megan Sowers recorded Waynesburg's highest finish of the Invitational, placing 2nd in the javelin. The Waynesburg women are also back in action Saturday, participating in the Carnegie Mellon Mini Invite. And after an outstanding performance in a doubleheader against Franciscan University for the Waynesburg University softball team last week, sophomore infielder Katie Potapinko was named as President's Athletic Conference Softball Hitter of the Week. Potapinko compiled a 600 average, slugged 3 home runs, collected 10 RBIs, and scored 5 runs. She now sits atop the team in many statistical categories, including hits, home runs, RBIs, total bases, and slugging percentage. The sophomore slugger and the rest of the Yellow Jacket softball team will begin PAC play when they hit the road Saturday to face the Teal Tomcats. Katie Potapinko also joined tennis player Colin Phillips as our Waynesburg Athletes of the Week. Potapinko, of course, earned the honors with her performance of late that was just highlighted, including winning PAC Softball Hitter of the Week. And Phillips went a combined 4-2 over 3 matches, going 2-1 in singles play and 2-1 in doubles action. The junior earned wins at number 3 singles over St. Vincent on Wednesday and DeUville on Friday. And Phillips also earned doubles victories at the number 2 spot against DeUville on Friday and Marietta on Saturday. I'm Matt Cole, and that's sports. Up next, Ryan Schwertfeger has the latest headlines in this week's Yellow Jacket.
Ryan, Waynesburg University was able to be a part of history this week. Can you tell us about some of the events that took place?
Certainly can. It was such an eventful week, but it was also one for the history books. A new issue of the Yellow Jacket hit stands today, and here's a preview of what you'll find in this week's newspaper. After lots of planning and preparations, the week of events that culminated on Tuesday was certainly a great testament to what Waynesburg University is all about. As part of the special inauguration celebration week, students and faculty participated in the Day of Service this past Saturday, with groups of people going out to serve different organizations in the community. Just to name a few, the Lamplighters Choir visited the Rolling Meadows Nursing Home and performed a few songs. The Stover Scholars organized a merit badge university for Boy Scouts with a focus on law, and the football team cooked and served a meal to those in need at St. Anne's Catholic Church. Celebrations then continued on Monday evening with a special worship service featuring the Waynesburg Choir and Band as the Waynesburg University community prepared themselves for what was to come the following day. And what a day it was. On Tuesday, Waynesburg University culminated their week of activities with the most important event of all, the inauguration. On the exact anniversary of the university's charter being given 164 years ago, Douglas G. Lee was officially inaugurated as the university's 15th president. Lee received the Presidential Medallion from outgoing President, now Chancellor, Timothy Thyreen, at Roberts Chapel to make the transition of power official. In front of his academic peers, his co-workers, friends and family, and to students watching their ceremony via a live feed, Douglas Lee happily and joyfully accepted the role of president, saying in his inaugural address that Waynesburg's lamp still burns bright and that he is committed to continuing the mission statement of the university while upholding all of the components of a Waynesburg education: faith, learning, and service. The campus community was extremely excited and honored to have Grammy-winning Christian music artist Michael W. Smith on campus. Held Tuesday evening in Roberts Chapel, Smith played several of his greatest hits, including Draw Me Close to You, Patriot, Deep in Love with You, and Healing Rain. Many in attendance were also very moved by the music and the melody of songs that Smith wove together during the performance, with some audience members standing, crying, swaying to the music, and extending their hands towards heaven. Smith noted that while he does not do many private concerts anymore, he did enjoy coming to Waynesburg, and he said he would certainly consider coming back to campus in the future. Waynesburg Borough firefighters reported to Wilson Hall on campus this past Sunday as a dryer in the hall's laundry room caught fire. Authorities have not said what the cause of the fire was, but they are certainly led to believe that it was due to lint buildup in the dryer. No injuries occurred from the fire, but a student's laundry was destroyed, with the student estimating the damage at $858. When asked about the incident, the student of the burned laundry mentioned that he had previously reported the dryer had an excessive amount of lint stuck inside to the hall's cleaning ladies, but that nothing seemed to be done in order to solve the problem. Waynesburg University is also investigating the incident, and they say that a new dryer will be arriving shortly to serve the students in the hall. You'll find these stories and more in this week's Yellow Jacket newspaper, which hit stands today. To view the publication online, visit the Yellow Jacket website at www.theyellowjacket.org. Reporting for the Yellow Jacket newspaper, I'm Ryan Schwertfeger, and now here's a look at this week's weather forecast with Anastasia Barr.
The longest streak of warm weather since October is heading our way. With temperatures finally reaching above freezing, is this a sure sign of spring? I'll have the full 5-day forecast to sure put a smile on your face right after this.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 110. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Currently in Waynesburg, it is 53 degrees. Taking a look at the 5-day forecast, tomorrow it will be 58 degrees with a 60% chance of rain with the low reaching 38 degrees. Saturday, the rain will continue on and off throughout the day with a high reaching 50 degrees. Sunday, we will see sunny skies with a high of 53 degrees. Good news for the Pittsburgh Pirates on Monday. We have a break from the rain for their home opener. We will see sunshine and temperatures reaching 63 degrees. And on Tuesday, back to scattered rain showers with a 30% chance of rain with a high reaching 55 degrees. Currently in Waynesburg, it is 53 degrees. For Channel 14 weather, I'm Anastasia Barr.
Thank you for joining us on Channel 14 News this evening.
Tune in next week for more Live at 5. Thank